Hey guys, it's Tay. Welcome back. I'm going to be doing a ranked tier survivors on my solo queue experience. So I'll try not to be biased, but this is the best I got. Okay, Dwights. Let's talk about Dwights. I don't like Dwights for a very specific reason. Most of you know my ex was a Dwight and, so we don't like Dwights. In game though, Dwights still kind of fall that way for me, right? I've never had like a Dwight come in for a play and save me, be super altruistic. It's just not how Dwights are, right? Dwight's a big old D. They're the worst. They're the worst. One of the worst. Megs. I know Megs are very controversial. I don't hate Megs. I have been saved by some pretty altruistic Megs. I'm not gonna lie about that. Again, we have lots of Meg mains. We're not talking about our friends who are Meg mains. I'll give Meg a C tier. And you know what? I lied. I am gonna give Meg a B. She does fall in the mid here. In my solo queue experience, I don't usually often scream at Megs. I'm gonna put her in mid. I'm a midder. Claudettes. I have had a few altruistic Claudettes, because Claudettes do be pretty altruistic. They're pretty altruistic, but they're pretty self-carey. They really like their self-care in the corner. But they do be doing gens. Unlike Dwight, so I feel like they just kind of run around the map. Like, I don't feel like they really do a whole lot. Claudettes do gens. I'm gonna put her at C tier. You can't get out of a match if you don't do gens. That's my thing about Claudette. Jakes. I don't think I've ever had a memorable Jake. Dwights and some of the other survivors are memorable because you're just like Dwight screaming at them, right? I'm gonna put Jake and D. They've never impressed me. They've never wronged me. I feel like in a solo queue, but they don't impress me. They don't. Nias. Urban evading Nias. They do gens. Dude, some Nias are cracked. I feel like I've come up against some pretty top tier Nias. Memorable. Lots of memorable Nias. I think I'm gonna put Nia in A. I don't think I've ever had a Nia. Nias are smart too because they're not hugely altruistic, I feel like. a lot of Nias like get shit done. They know when to be by the killer. They know when not to be by the killer. They know when to get away and do gens and all that. In my solo queue experience, Nias are usually goated. I know that people don't like Nias and she's a little rat and all those things, but I've had some pretty memorable Nias. I'm gonna put her in A. Lori's. Lori's kind of tough for me. You don't see a lot of Loris. And when you do see Loris, I feel like they're like trying to adapt usually. They're usually not. I don't really feel like I've had a whole lot of like team player Loris. And you need a team player. Especially in solo queue. I'm not gonna give her a B. I'm not gonna give her a D either because I don't think of Loris as being terrible. Lori's alright. I feel like they're the casual player who still care about the game. While they may not be the best teammate, they're not my worst. They're not my worst teammates. Anytime I see a Lori load into a lobby, I'm like, a Lori? Nobody ever sees Lori. Ace. Lots of aces. Aces are, you see them plenty, right? Aces be cracked. I feel like ace players know they're quiet, they hide well, they're cracked. So if you play ace, you're playing ace because you know he's quiet, you know you can sneak with him, and you like cosmetics. You're probably pretty good at the game. I have seen a lot of disgusting aces. I don't think I've ever been in a game screaming at an ace to get out of my way or any of that. I think I'm putting ace A. I might put it, I kind of want to put ace S tier. That's a tough one for me. I'm gonna put ace S tier. I feel like aces are cracked. Anytime I get in the lobby with an ace. Bill. Speaking of bills. You see plenty of bills. Solo queue experience, you see tons of bills. Bills are not quiet. Don't have a lot of great cosmetics. If you play Bill, you fucking love games. You love gaming. I feel like there's a mixed bag of bills. Bills are either good, they're not like top tier, but either Bills are good or they're just new. Like not bad or like trying to sandbag or trying to be this or that. I either feel like Bill is good or they're new. And that's a big difference. It's a big difference of being good and bad. You're either good as Bill or you're just new. So my solo queue experience, same thing. I've never been screaming about a Bill. No memorable moments about Bills, but you see them so much that you can't just like kind of throw them off to the side. I'm gonna give Bill C tier. I don't feel like Bills are overly cracked. I've had some good Bills. All right, one of the controversial ones. More, I think, than Meg and Nia is Fung. I've definitely screamed at some Fungs. I've definitely been hyped at some Fungs for getting some disgusting plays. Fungs are either goofy or they're cracked. Yeah, I don't feel like Fung is not a C or D tier. Fung is somebody who's been playing the game a long time. They like the game a lot because they have a lot of cosmetics. It's tough. It's either A or B for me. I'm not gonna give her an S tier. I might give her an A tier. I feel like a lot of Funks I run into are pretty fucking good at the game. They can be fun in the game too. I'm tempted to put her an A. I'm putting her an A. My solo queue experience, Funks get shit done. They be altruistic, they get saves. They don't waste a whole lot of time unless they're teabagging because they're cute. No Tay, please. Yes, I like Fungs. I'm not that upset at Fungs. I don't think that they throw. I like Funks. I like Funks in my solo queue experience. Davids. Lots of Davids. Davids fall in the middle for me. Again, I feel like Davids kind of fall with Bill, right? You're either really good at you're either good at the game or you're new. I don't think it's Davids as being like Dwight's or Jake's. You see a lot of Davids, so I might have to put David in C tier too. Quentin. I should have made a category all for Quentin. You know what? I'm gonna. There we go. There we go. Done. Just done. Easy. Okay, next. Tap. Taps are another one you don't see a lot, but I don't really feel taps are bad. I do feel like taps can kind of keep to themselves in solo queue. He's not somebody I think of like, he's not gonna come for your hook. I don't think of tap as like being like, oh, I'm coming for that hook. I need to like get them. I feel like taps don't suck, but you don't see them a lot. They can kind of get caught up in just like, chasing butterflies a little bit, I feel like. But I don't hate them. I feel like you're a tap, you love Saw, and you're new. I don't really want to give them D tier, but I'm gonna just because in my solo queue experience, I don't have anything else to go on. I maybe had like 3 solo games with Taps. Taps not out here, he's not afraid. He's not afraid of the game. He's just like, he gets sidetracked easy. He just gets a little sidetracked. So I'm gonna put him in D. Okay, Kate. See plenty of Kates in solo queue, right? Again, I feel like you run Kate, you've been playing the game a little bit, even though she's one of those like, one of those survivors that I feel like people choose pretty quick. She's cute, she's got a lot of cosmetics. Kate's fall in the mid for me. They get shit done. They're not just like kind of off doing their own thing. They're all right at running like the killer and stuff, but they know their objectives. They know their objectives in the game and they try to focus on them. I'm giving Kate a B. She's not somebody I usually feel like is like getting in my loop. I feel like they might die a little quickly sometimes, Kate. But it's not because they're being dumb. Maybe they're just like not great at looping, but they're very much focus on their objectives. And I love a survivor who can do that. Adam, I've had maybe 1 cracked Adam that I can remember. Maybe two. Again, not somebody you see a whole lot in your solo queue experience. While I don't hate Adams, I feel like Adams can be pretty chill. They don't care about the game though. They don't care about the game that much though, I would say. So, I'm gonna give him a C. I don't hate them. I don't think they're like top players or anything, but they're not players that I'm like, oh, it's an Adam. It's not how I feel about Adams. Jeffs. I feel like I see enough Jeffs in solo queue. Jeffs, again, very objective driven. I feel like they're out there trying to get them done. I feel like a lot of times Jeffs too are pretty good at running the kill. Jeffs fall in B or C for me. Jeffs fall in B or C for me. I'm gonna give Jeff a B. Same thing, kind of like the Kates. I feel like Jeffs do survive a lot in game. I like Jeffs. Again, same thing. They know when to get away from the killer. They know when to like jump in. They know when to hide when hiding is important. Unlike other survivors who hide all fucking game, right? Jeffs don't do that. So I'm gonna give Jeff a B. Jane. Jane. Jane I kind of struggle with. You see lots of Janes. When I see, I kind of feel C about Jane too. I've never had like a great playoff of Jane. I don't groan when I see Jane in lobby, but I don't really think of Janes as ever, my solo queue experience. They're Janes. They're cool. I like Janes. But I feel like she's just kind of mediocre. Yeah, I've never had like an amazing play from a Jane. Yeah. Ash. You see lots of Ashes. Again, kind of like Ash. If you play Ash, you only play Ash for one reason, because you fucking love Ash. You don't choose Ash because like, oh, this survivor looks cool. Oh, his hand, what's up with his hand? I'm gonna choose Ash. That's not why you choose Ash. You choose Ash as your main because you fucking love Ash. That's it. I might have to give Ashes fall A or B for me. I have had some Ashes that I've screamed at Ashes, but you see them so much that a few of those Ashes that I have yelled at in solo queue, the better Ashes outweigh them. I think B too. I think B as well. Nancy's. See tons of Nancy's now, especially because Stranger Things came back, right? And you see plenty of Nancy's anyways, even while Stranger Things wasn't like a DLC that you could get. Nancy's are cracked. I feel like while Nancy's are not rare, you see Nancy's plenty. Nancy's are cracked. Nancy's fallen A tier for me. Nancy's get shit done. They know when objectives are important. They know when objectives aren't important. Nancy's are people who have been playing this game for a while too, I feel like. They understand in-game sense, and that is hugely important. See, I think Nancy is more A tier. I think B is more, Steve is more B tier because Steve's bring more chaos. I think Steve's bring more chaos than Nancy's do. I think Steve's are goofy. I think you see a ton of Steve's. Steve's are goofy and may not be great at getting the objectives done, but I'm giving Steve the B. I think he falls perfectly there in my solo queue experience. Yui's. Again, Yui's, you see them a lot. Yui's are players who I feel like have been playing for a while. In the solo queue experience, still love Yui's. Yui's, again, I'm not gonna give Yui an elite. I'm not giving Yui elite. Yui might be S or A tier for me though. I feel like Yui's they're good at the game. They're good at getting objectives done. They're good at being altruistic. They know when to and when not to. S or A. I think I might have to give Yui the S tier. I might have to. Zarina's, same thing. Zarina's kind of fall in the same category as like Nancy's and Yui's. Zarina has great cosmetics. I think if you play Zarina, you've been playing the game for a while, same thing. I load into a lobby and I see a Zarina, I'm happy with that. I do not think Zarina's are S tier. I don't. I think Zarina's fall in A or B for me. I don't think of Zarina's as being brand new to the game, but I'm pretty solid. When I load into a lobby and I see a Zarina, I'm happy about that. I'm giving her the B. She's more of a B than an A. I'm giving it to her. In my solo queue experience, Zarina falls in a B. Cheryl. Lots of Cheryls. I like Cheryls. I don't think Cheryls are cracked, but I think Cheryl falls in C tier for me. Cheryl falls C tier. She's not a cracked player. She's not a bad player. Actually, Cheryl is like one of these that falls right here for me, I would have to say. I think Cheryl is more of a B than a C tier. I think Cheryl's more of a B than a C for me. Fifis. I feel like you see a lot of Fifis. I feel like I see a lot of Fifers. Again, if you play FIFA, it's because he's handsome. He's got he's got a lot of really good cosmetics. I feel like if you play Felix, you really like how you look in the game. You are about the cosmetics if you play somebody like Felix. I don't think you're somebody new to the game if you've been playing Felix because you have to spend money on him, right? His perks are good, so again, you're not choosing Felix just because of his perks. You're choosing Felix because of what Felix looks like, and that's totally okay. I might have to give Felix a C. I might have to give him a C tier for me. I don't feel like I see enough Felixes in-game to be like, oh my god, it's another fucking Felix, and they don't do anything. If I see Felix, I'm like, all right, it's a thief. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna put Fifers in C tier. All right. You know, these ones are gonna be difficult for me, these next few. Elities. You don't see a lot of Elities. Quinn's own category, yes. While I was gonna joke and put Elodie in Elite because it's funny, in my solo queue experience, you don't see a whole lot of Elodies. You really don't. I don't think of them as... I could put Elodie at A. I was gonna say, I don't think they're bad players when I see. I was gonna say, I'd probably put Elodie in B tier. When I come across Elodies, I'm like, oh, well, I mean, obviously, I love coming across Elodies because I love Elodies, but I don't think of them as bad players. I don't think of them as like top tier cracked players. I'm gonna give Elodie a B. I think they, again, same thing. They know their objectives. They know what they want to do. They know when to be altruistic, when not to be altruistic. But I don't think of them as being like some of these guys that I get in a lobby that I'm like, oh, nice, an Elodie. Like, I think I can trust this Elodie. Or is this Elodie going to be cracked? I'm like, oh, cool, it's an Elodie. She's mid. Let's go. Yannies. In my solo queue experience, Yannies are elite. I've had so many Yannies save me in fucking endgame and have disgusting moves. I've had an Elodie. Now this is just me and Britt, not a total solo queue, but I'm gonna use the example. The Yanni pulled me off hook, dead-hearted, and we both escaped. Both fucking escaped. She was disgusting. During the Halloween event in the Void, I'm on Gideon by the door on a hook. Yanni gets in the Void, comes out of the Void at my hook, pulls me off the hook, gets back in the Void, killer chases me with BT to the door. She jumps around in the Voids to get back to the door and fucking escapes. It was the most, I'm like, do you have a map of where the fucking Voids pop up? Because it was so top tier. I've never had a fucking Yanni, anybody pull something like that. I was amazed. I was completely blown away. It was disgusting. She's elite. She's elite. Jills. Y'all know how I feel about Jills. We love Jill. She's a queen. She's an absolute queen. Solo queue experience Jills. They're not great. They're a C for me. They're a C for me. I can't think of Jills as being like, oh, this is Jill in my lobby. Awesome. Let's heckin' go. When I load into a lobby and I see a Jill, I'm not like, oh, nice, a Jill. I'm like, okay, Jill. I mean, I love to look at her. You know, she's a queen for that, but love to hear her when she's getting, you know, nailed by the killer, but Jill screams and memorable. That is it. That is it. I don't think of Jills as being like cracked players. I think if you're running Jill, you like the way Jill looks or you're a big Resident Evil fan. I don't think you're necessarily somebody who's been playing the game for a while. I think you'd have love of Resident Evil. I think that's why you play Jill. You're not playing Jill because Jill's fucking loud, right? Jill is very loud. You're often going to get found unless you are top tier fucking Jill, and I think there's 3 of you out there. So, I'm gonna give Jill C tier. Leons. Fucking hate Leons. I have screamed at more Leons than I think any other survivor ever in solo queue. The amount of memories that I can think of with fucking Leons jumping in my game, completely ruining the endgame collapse because Leon did something fucking stupid. I should give Leon his own. I'm not going to, but Leon is fucking D tier. Hate Leons the most. Dwight's and Leons, probably hate them the most. Michaela's are not elite. They're not elite. I think with Michaela's, I struggle with Michaela's. I don't think of Michaela's as being brand new to the game. I can't think of too many. I can't think of any solo queue experience where I'm like, damn, that Michaela was cracked. I do think Michaela's follow objectives. They're very much a wild card. I don't think of them as new players. I don't think of them, again, great cosmetics. I can see why people play Michaela and why they get drawn to her and why you see so many Michaelas. Super cute, great cosmetics. I'm gonna have to give her a C tier. I'm gonna put Michaela in C tier. I think I'm gonna put Michaela in C tier. I don't think she deserves, Michaela doesn't deserve the D. She doesn't deserve the D. Jonas. You only play Jonah because Jonah's perks aren't bad, but I don't think you pick Jonah because of their perks. I think you pick Jonah because you fucking love Pop Tarts and you probably look like Jonah in real life, which is cool. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, I don't see Pop Tarts. I don't see why you pick Jonah. You don't pick Jonah. What is a Pop Tart? He holds a Pop Tart. Jonah gets the D. Jonah gets the D. You know what? And I'm gonna make this a little speedier. So does Yoichi. Only because Yoishi's... You're not good. I'm sorry. Hattie's. I don't think Hattie's being bad. I don't load into a lobby and I'm like, oh, it's a Hattie. All right, like, cool, okay, Hattie. I don't think they're cracked. I don't think they're bad. They fall in mid for me. I'm gonna give them a C because, again, I don't have any memorable, like, moments, with the Hattie. I don't think of Hatties as always having, like, a chance to survive. I don't think, like, Hatties survive a lot. I think they focus on objectives pretty well. I think Hattie falls C for me because I'm not seeing her enough to rate her higher or with these group of people. I'm gonna give her the C tier. I'm gonna give a C tier. Ada's. I've screamed at quite a few Adas. In both Resident Evil and Dead by Daylight, Ada is a smoke show. But I fucking hate her guts. I fucking hate her guts! I think if I could, Ada goes, you know what, I can. Ada goes right next to Dwight. Ada goes next to Dwight. You know what also? You asked me this before, if this is by this? No. These three, I hate Adas. I hate Adas. Ada gets the D. She doesn't get my D, but she gets the D. Becky's. Little Becky Clam Slam. Honestly, Becky's kind of fall like this for me. I don't hate Becky's. I don't really... Again, you don't see them. You don't see them a lot. She's a C, she's a C. That's tough for me. I feel like, now if I leave her here, right? My main reason for this is I see these, we'll take him out of this conversation just for right now. I see these guys, this group of survivors, more than I see Becky's, right? I can't think of screaming at Becky's in game. I can't think of moments of Becky surprising me when I load into a lobby. Because when I load into a lobby, I don't go, oh, it's Becky. I'm gonna bring it back to C tier. This group of people, when I see, maybe not these two so much, but when I see this whole group in my lobby, I'm like, ugh. Becky doesn't make me do that. So I'm gonna leave her at C tier. I'm gonna leave her at C tier. Vetoes. I think Vetoes have come kind of a long way in the sense that people loved Vito when he came out, right? Silver Fox, all this kind of stuff. I think shirtless too. People were so happy to have a shirtless Vito. Right off rip too. People were very excited about Vito. Good cosmetics. He's got good perks. I don't think his Vetoes is being bad. I really don't. I don't think his Vetoes is being bad. I don't think his Vetoes being cracked at the game, but I feel like they're a little higher than mid. Again, Vetoes fall like this for me. Solo queue experience. I think he falls C tier for me. I think Vito falls C tier for me. Thalita. Thickalita. Shirtless VS? Shirtless what? You see way more Thalitas now. You definitely see more Thalitas now. I think if Thalitas is being pretty good. If you load in with a Thalita, I'm like, all right, cool. It's a Thalita. I like Thalitas. I think I've never been disappointed by a Thalita. I've never been disappointed by a Thalita. I think I might give Thalita B tier. She's somebody I load into a lobby and I'm like, all right, cool, chill. It's a Thalita. It's me, Thalita, Steve, and Cheryl. Awesome. I think that's a good group. Cool, let's do this. Hinatu, don't see a lot of them. Because I don't see enough Hinatus and because of the small amount of them that I have seen, I think he falls in D tier for me. I don't load into a lobby with Hinatu and go like, oh, it's Hinatu. If I see the two of them together, I'm like, oh, it's a duo. I feel a little more solid in that. I don't see enough Hinatus he probably falls like this for me, right? Because I don't see them enough, I am gonna move Hinatu up here. Because I don't groan like I kind of do with these guys when I get Hinatu. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's Hinatu. Hinatu does fall like this for me, but I think I'm gonna put Hinatu here and see. When I see Nyx, I think Nyx can be kind of cracked. Nyx, again, fall this way for me. I think I might put Nick in B tier. When I load into a game and there's a Nick in my lobby, if there's one Nick in my lobby, if there's more than one Nick in my lobby, I may not feel the same about that. But I think if Nyx is getting shit done, they're going to get you off hook. They usually make it to endgame. They can sandbag you sometimes. I do feel that way in them. That's why he kind of falls in between for me, but I'm gonna give him B tier. I'm giving him B tier. I kind of cringe with Gabe's. I don't feel like I get into a match and I'm like, oh, it's Gabe. It's Gabe. If I load into a match and I get Gabe in my lobby, I'm like, oh, it's Gabe. They don't make it to endgame. Gabe does not make it to endgame. He doesn't. He might make some unhooks. Maybe he gets a gen popped. He's not a great looper. He dies mid-match. Ellen. I don't know. I can't think of too many Ellens I've even gotten in solo queue with. If I see an Ellen, I'm like, oh shit, it's an Ellen. Ellen falls in between C and D for me. But the only reason I want to give Ellen the D is because you don't see her enough, but that doesn't make her bad, right? I'm gonna give her the C tier. Looking back at my list now that we're at the end, Yunny being elite, Ash and Yui S tier, I'm gonna stick with that. Fung, Nia, Nancy's cracked. I load in with them and I'm okay with it. I know a lot of people don't like Fung, Nia, Megs, Nancy's. There's a lot of them there, but they're cracked players. They are definitely cracked players. Meg, Kate, Jeff, Ash, Steve, Zarina, Cheryl, Elodie, Thalita, Nick. Usually pretty good. They're pretty solid players. They get objectives done. They know how to be altruistic. They know when to not be altruistic. They know when to go for a grab. They know when to make a save at endgame and when, you know what? I'ma go because it's solo queue and there's nothing I can do for you anymore. They're the group that goes. They're the group that makes it to endgame. All those kinds of things. C tier. Vito, David, Adam, Lori, Bill, Jane, Felix, Hattie, Rebecca, Claudette, Michaela, Jill, Hinatu, and Ellen. Load into a lobby with that group, the biggest group here, right? The C tier is definitely the biggest group. I load in with them, and while a few of them, Claudette's, usually Hinatu's, Michaela's, Bill, Lori, you know, there's a few in here that I load in, and I'm like, okay. Let's, I don't know how this is gonna go, but we're gonna give it our best try. Don't usually make it to endgame. Maybe some of them do, maybe with the help because you have a decent solo queue survivor team in your lobby. Few of you escape. You're not getting a 4-man escape with this group. But they're all right. I don't mind getting into a lobby with them. D tier. Fucking hate Dwight. Fucking hate Ada. Hate Leon. Don't fucking hate Leon, but I hate Leon. Jake, Tap, Jonah, Yoichi, Gabe. Have no trust for. I have no trust for when it comes to being in a lobby with them in Dead by Daylight. We ain't winning, and I pretty much have lost all objective when I load into a lobby with this group of people. I'm just going for the content at that point. I'm not trying to make the escape. Quentin. He looks like he eats glue, and he looks like he's made out of glue. He gets his own category. Yanni, while my most favorite P100, my OG P100, she is elite. You get in a lobby with a Yanni, you're gonna have a good game. You can have a good game. And I'm solid. I'm pretty solid in these choices. I think it's a pretty good list. I think we've done pretty well. I know there's a few people that are like, what with some of these. My solo queue experience, I play this game a lot, right? I play this game a lot. And while I do play the game with Swifts and stuff, I have huge experience in solo queue. I'm solid in this group. I'm definitely solid in this group.